Hi everyone, Simon Keeling here at weatherweb.net. Thanks again for watching. It is Friday the 1st of February. As always, the sites get free of charge by the adverts that you see around the screen. It's you coming back and using the site and using the adverts that keeps us free of charge. And of course by telling your friends that we are here as well. That all helps too, so thank you for doing that. The latest JMA is in, and this is what I wanted to focus on during this, just looking at how February is shaping up. This is the forecast for off the JMA. And this is the forecast for week 1. So this is going through from Thursday the 31st of January through until next Friday the 8th of February. British Isles is just underneath here. Okay, it's pretty hard to see, I know, because I flipped the chart around, but it's underneath this trough just in here, and the ridge that's out in the Atlantic here. So we've got high pressure up here, we've got low pressure here, low pressure down here, and the jet stream just blowing through in between the two. So this is kind of transitioning back into cooler weather during the end of next week. You see a blocking ridge building here as well, just pushing these heights northward. These heights pushing north too, we get a link developing between the two, and this ridge builds out in the Atlantic, which turns to flow colder at the end of next week. So the Japanese is certainly backing up the idea of this cooler weather arriving at the end of next week. Now into week 2, and this takes us through then from the period from Saturday the 9th of February through to Friday the when would it be, the 15th of February. And here again is the British Isles just underneath here, and notice what's happened here. We've still got the ridge out here in the Atlantic. We've still got this sort of blocking ridge that's out here across Scandinavia. What will happen is this ridge will be in here like so. We'll then have a trough elongated down here with that feature in there. So almost we go to the position, or according to the JMA, we're getting into a position where we have below normal heights across the country, but we're going back into this westerly jet flow. Now I'm not sure what's going to happen here, because I think that what we could see here is high pressure up towards the northeast, the surface winds rotating around that area of high pressure like so, and then what we find is low pressure here. So what you've got is the surface winds down here around the area of low pressure doing this. Okay, so those winds are kind of flowing around the low. You see there that it brings us this easterly flow. So this is that week taking us through into the middle part of February, where we're going to pick up this cold easterly flow, and I think it's certainly on the cards that there's something there, and I think we need to watch for wintry conditions across the south of the country, although of course we're a little bit later than we were last week in the year. So the chance of wintry conditions gets reduced, but having said that, it is very cold out here at the moment, and if we get an easterly wind coming into the UK across there, then it will bring in cool weather. So I'm going to go for a cold week and the idea of some wintry weather, particularly eastern England and the southern half of England and the eastern parts of Wales too during that period. And then into weeks 3 and 4. Well, seeing a change here. So this is weeks 3 and 4. So this takes us through from Saturday the 16th of February right the way through until the early part of March. So when would it be taking us? That would be taking us through till about the 2nd of March, no, the 1st of March, Friday the 1st of March. So this takes us through then from 16th of February, I'll just get it written down here so we know what we're on about, through to the 2nd of March. And what this shows, British Isles underneath here, look, you see that we've got these lower than normal heights to the south of the country and higher than normal up here. So what we're going to find is this blocked off ridge going back into the northern states, the flow coming around like so into that will aid the jet that's here. And what we will find is the flow from the jet kind of doing that sort of pattern. So what this is indicating is that we start off that period pretty cold, but then probably go back into more of a westerly flow. So that westerly flow coming back across the Atlantic, and probably what we'll find is that breakdown into unsettled conditions. And I still go with this idea of a transitionary period between about the 16th and the 20th, and then breaking down into a more proper, organised, unsettled spell during that final period. And a look at the CFS from yesterday. This is weeks 4 from CFS. This is the end of February. Notice what it does here. Very similar to the Japanese, is that it brings in these above normal heights here up towards the north of the country, below normal heights across the country. So what we'd find here is the jet probably through something like that, unsettled conditions that's predicting for the end of the month, and we see rain, wind, and slightly milder conditions, probably back to normal conditions, near normal temperatures coming in from the Atlantic at the end of the month. And just interestingly, this is the MJO, and look elsewhere on the site for I wrote about the MJO the other day, and what's interesting to note about this is that if we count around the days 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, day 16, so this is the 16th of February, we are into phase 3, and generally what you find is about 5 or 6 days from the start of phase 3 is that we go into a strong positive Atlantic oscillation. This is from the ECMWF seasonal model, by the way. So what you tend to find is that we go into a strong North Atlantic oscillation, which is stronger westerly winds, and that's what it's predicted here from about the 16th to getting to phase 3. So give it 6 days, 5 or 6 days, we're sort of 21st, 22nd. Then we get into phase 4, and phase 4 is strongly positive as far as the NAO is concerned. So we get strongly positive NAO, but it's a little bit hit and miss, because it indicates that the jet stream is further south across the UK than it normally is, and that's basically what's going to happen. So it brings us then, look, right the way through to the 4th of March. It leaves us in this phase 4 pattern. So it's backing up this idea of a more unsettled end to February from about the 22nd through to the 4th. And just talking to Gary Nicholson, who's one of our WeatherWeb reporters, yesterday about this, some very interesting alignments going on that could happen here. We are getting into a period of storminess that he's identified from his research. So add that to this, and it could be a particularly stormy and unsettled end to the month and a beginning of the early part of March, but with temperatures probably near normal, but some very windy conditions on the cards. So I just wanted to bring you that update. Hopefully that's been useful for you. Don't forget to keep coming back to the website, checking out for the latest musings, blogs, charts, etc. And whatever happens, remember we kept free of charge by you coming back and using the adverts and using the site. So whatever happens, please do keep the sun shining. Bye for now.